Hi everyone, welcome to Topic 3, Lecture 1, Part 7. In this session we're going to look at changing culture. Now we've got a little diagram here talking about situational factors. Organisational culture in general is made up of relatively stable characteristics and values that have taken quite a while to form, and things become entrenched, and we get the kind of saying, oh, but we always do it this way. Members get committed to keeping things just this way, and that shines maturity phase. Culture can actually become a handicap, so we may need to change it. It may be holding us back. So we need to understand the situational factors, and the situational factors include. So we start with a dramatic crisis, where you might have financial setback, major customer loss, technology leaked by a competitor. Nothing focuses the mind like a crisis. So a dramatic shock to the status quo might help facilitate cultural change. Where there's a change of leadership, in general, a new leader might bring new ways of doing things. So think about Semco. Strong leader was open to change, who was open to change, reshaped the organisation's culture piece by piece. That happens. Young and small organisation, the less entrenched the culture is, the more likely the culture is to change. And then if there is a weak culture in the organisation. Equally, how we change culture. We change culture by analysing the situational factors. So think about how the organisation currently is. Analyse the organisational culture. Determine why change is necessary. Understand the drivers for change. Equally, communicate the need for change. So go back to Kotter's go forward to Kotter's 8-step plan for organisational change. Then implement your change, then monitor it to make sure it sticks, and then review and correct things that don't work. Now what we've got here are situational factors, our inputs into the organisation. Our organisational culture, the need for change, goes through a transformation, this is part of the management process, into outputs. Okay, changing organisational culture again then, so thinking specifically about culture, how we accomplish that change. We do that while change isn't a simple or automatic process. The following 6 steps are usually part of any successful change attempt. 1. Conduct a cultural analysis that identifies the elements that you need to change. Communicate the necessity. It must be really clear to employees that cultural change is necessary if the organisation is to survive. So there's an imperative. Then the change selection and socialisation process. You've got to make sure that that as you hire new people in, they're aware of the new culture. You make sure that new people are rewarded the right way. If you go back to that Hellriegel and Slocum diagram, everything feeds into everything else. Introduce new stories and rituals, and make sure there are cultural artefacts that are the warp and weft of the fabric, and they knit in really well, and they legitimise the new way of doing things. And then carefully appoint new leaders. You need to be very, very careful about who is appointed and where, and that they actually understand and uphold the new organisation's culture, and then evaluate the need for and maybe reorganise possibly the organisation in order to embed the new culture.